Hi guys, Putin here with the Halloween event preview. Just going to go over some of the information that they've released. Then I'm going to show you some of the ships on the public test, along with my thoughts and feelings about how it, for the most part, is at right now, and if they are probably not going to do any changes, but if there are any changes, you'll have to remember that right now the Halloween event part 2 that is live on the public test is technically still a work in progress, but I sure they might make some little tweaks. Now, for those of you who do not know, this is obviously the Halloween event, and this is just a little preview. Now, from everything that I've gathered, you have to do part 1 of this event, which was last year's or 2016's Halloween event. You'll have to redo that, and they made little tweaks to that. I will try to put a link to the Halloween event from last year in the description, or I will put it somewhere on screen here if you guys want to check that out, and just in case you didn't take part of that. But as you can see, this starts with the update of 0.6.12 on the 18th. And they are bringing back part 1, and then part 2 also goes live at the same time. If you don't know how to access it, it's going to be under scenarios. But the task and rewards for doing part 1 is the Transylvania needs to get to the portal at 50% or greater, destroy at least 16 enemy ships, destroy all the catapults on the maps. Transylvania must not stop, and Rasputin must be destroyed. Your rewards for those are 1 star is 15 Halloween camos, 2 stars is 15 2016 camos, 3 stars is 15 Halloween camo and 15 Halloween 2016 camos. 4 stars is 25,000 Elite Commander experience, and 5 stars is premium. Now, they said they have made some new twists here. Transylvania has a small area around, granting 30% HP per second to all ships inside. They've added more catapults with some armor, apparently. Each commander comes with 19 points. Once the Halloween ships have been removed and all that experience that you have accumulated will be transferred to the cruiser or land. I wish they would just kind of cut it in half, or just give you the free experience, something more, instead of having to spend money. But one of the changes they did implement is you are restricted to 3 Blade, 3 Jackal, and 3 Igor. I forget which is which. They've also tweaked the consumables a little bit. 40 seconds on the damage control for 10-second operation. Smoke generator, you get 2 charges at 180 reload, 30-second operation. Repair party, 1 charge, 40-second reload time of 10 seconds. Restores 3% of HE per second, so it doesn't take into account what kind of damage. It's just 3% of your hit points. Premium obviously adds 1 additional charge and reduces reload time by 25%. Strongly recommend, if you're doing this, to run all premium consumables. Now we're going to go check out part 2, those new ships that are actually on the public test server right now. Alright guys, now we are on the public test server, and we are showcasing stage 2, because this is the new stage that, well, you haven't done unless you've been on the public test. Now, these are all tier 8 ships. This is the destroyer, and just so you guys know, all of your gun ranges have been significantly reduced. As you can see, the DDs put down to 6 kilometers, and your torpedoes are 6 kilometers also. I believe this is a modified Kagero. but I just want to kind of give you guys a little heads up and showcase some of these new ships. Now, the only perk I recommend you take for all of your captains is Superintendent, no matter what, and I recommend you getting all premium consumables. Every ship has a repair party, but the engine boost 2 restores 25% health while you are in the field, and this, I believe, all of your healing abilities will double for every 50, 100, 200, and 400,000 hit points of damage you do cause. Don't be shocked at those numbers; they're not that hard to get. The other special one is the anti-guidance system. All the main batteries of the enemy ships will not shoot at you. This lasts for 40 seconds and active for 40. Reload time of 45. Their secondaries will still shoot at you and planes still will drop on you. And of course, you get a torp reload, which pretty much is, really just automatic. Instant torps again. I will showcase, I will have little highlights of all these skills so you guys can actually see them in action. The cruiser, I believe, is a modified Edinburgh. I just call it the Edinburgh, bro. As you can see, main battery is put out to 10.4 kilometers. Now, I did, for the most part, except for my destroyer, put on range mod on the cruiser and battleship. But that is going to really be a personal choice. But your special heal ability is you activate this, your guns reload like next to instantaneous, maybe a 1 second reload. It makes the Atlanta cry if this thing lasted longer than 30 seconds. It's just unbelievable. You can go from next to no health to full health instantaneously when you pop this, and I have done a lot of damage. And then you get the surveillance radar, which is good for 15 kilometers, even though you can't shoot it. I do believe, unlike in the live server, if you pop this, your allies can see the enemy ships also. And that will be beneficial for when you are fighting in the field. I don't want to get too involved in this. This is just a preview. I will go more in depth when this stuff does go live. You have a modified Tirpitz here, and your special is you turn your ship into like a repair ship. That starts off with a 750 meter radius, but it will double, like, once again for all of the damage. I will go over, like I said, this stuff in probably more detail when it goes live. You get an energy shield, which makes you invulnerable to all damage except for being in a field, fires, and floods. If you get hit by a torpedo, the torpedo will do no damage, but if it causes a flood, it will flood you. If a shell hits you and causes a fire, it will just be the fire damage. You won't take any of the damage that it would have done. Now, I do believe that the carrier is a modified Lexington or Enterprise. The one thing about the carrier is, unless you are extremely good super unit carrier, don't take this into a random battle unless you're on a full 7-man div, because these events are going to be in the scenario tabs, so you can go in with full 7-man divs. I'm gonna stress this enough. But your special heal ability is you can restore 250 hit points for seconds for allied ships, and it's active for 5 seconds. This is good all over the map, and it significantly increases with, obviously, the more damage you do. And its reload time is 20 seconds. Now, Eclipse 2 pretty much incapacitates all enemy ships. It pretty much puts their engines to stops, and their secondaries, primaries will not shoot any of its armament. I don't believe they can launch planes. I don't believe they can launch torps. Their secondaries won't work, and their primaries won't work. And again, once again, this is all over the map. There is no range. Once you hit this, all enemy ships become incapacitated. And now we're going to check out some of the highlights of these skills in action. Alright, so here's the battleship's special abilities. Now, I'm going to hit the repair field prior to it getting large so you can see how small it starts off with. But anybody within that circle will be getting healed. And this is the smallest possible circle that you can get. I do not recommend you using your heal until you do at least about 100k damage, which is not very hard. Now we're going to look at actually inside the filth and the other special ability. Now, as you can see, my damage has gotten significantly up there. I've hit the 200,000 mark, so this is the largest the circle will get. But I'm going to activate the invincibility shield, and what you're going to see is I got hit with shells, it registered damage, I got hit with the torps, and it said my ship took damage. But if you looked at my health bar, I took 0 damage. Now, the shells did cause a fire. The fire would be damaging me. I was losing some health because it does not block against the filth. But as you can see, I'm going to activate the my special ability to block damage. Once again, and as you're going to see, it's going to register, but pay attention to my health bar. My health bar never goes down. And now for the cruiser special abilities. You can see my radars aren't cooldown, but if I was in that green circle, I'd actually be getting healed by the battleship. But as you can see, I hit my heal. I'm sitting at over 100k, so just look at my health come back. Look at the rate of fire. Now, I should have just kept shooting instead of looking for my torpedoes to keep my health bar a little bit higher, but foresight is always 20/20. But as you can see, just look at that rate of fire and the amount of health you can get back. Now, what I actually advise you doing is, prior to hitting that, if you have something within torp range and torps are loaded, send your torpedoes. And hope your torpedoes get there in time, because that is always damage. Now, we all know how radar works, but what you need to do is pay attention to the minimap. And as you can see, I pick up all those ships behind me. I do suspect if any of the allies were actually within gun range, they'd be able to shoot them, but I'm not 100% sure because nobody's ever said, please use your radar so I can shoot these guys I cannot see. But it's radar. We know how radar works. And now we're going to check out the Dcv Consumables. As I said, these have no range. They're map wide. As you can see, I hit my heal. As you can see, that cruiser got a significant chunk of his health back from me hitting it. You know, I had some good damage, so he got a lot of his health back. And now we're going to check out the Eclipse, I believe it's what it's called, the incapacitation field. I'm not 100% sure if it does affect the planes. I'm going to assume it did here because a lot of these guys didn't get shot down as I'm bringing all of my torp planes in. I'm really just trying to help kill the boss, but stupid cruiser got in the way. But as you can see, you get the little symbol next to the ships so everybody knows when it is active. And last but not least, we have the Destroyer Premium Consumables. Now, as you can see, the speed boost is also your heal, and it only works when you're in the filter. Now, instead of me talking for the next minute and 15 seconds about nothing, we're going to use the magic of editing. And yay, look, my health regeneration is almost done. As you can see, I did get some of my health back. Now, it may not be a lot, but you are a destroyer after all. Now, I did shoot just to showcase the nobody shoot at me. But if you notice, nobody's shooting at me with their primaries. It is only secondaries that they are shooting with me. So secondaries still can shoot at you, and I believe planes can also. And now we're going to check out some actual gameplay. Alright guys, now I forgot I didn't have my mic muted when I did this recording, but I left this part in just so you guys can see. Yes, that is my typing skills. One letter, one finger at a time. For those people that do play with me know that there's that typing and then what they have affectionately come to call angry typing. I just left that in there just, I don't poke fun out of myself a little bit, but also, like, if you guys do say something, I do try to keep it a little bit short and sweet. Sweet just because, well, I suck at spelling, and if you think my spelling sucks, my typing is 10 times worse. But like I said, just on to the gameplay about this now. As you can see, Transylvania, Igor, Blade, and a Jackal have made it through. Now, the first ships coming through are the ones from the original. Once you deal with these guys, which is fairly easy, you'll be dealing with the tier 8s. Now, my actual advice is try not to kill any of these zombie ships right away, because you can see that the tasks are starting to become active. And one of the tasks is actually eliminate 30 ships in the field, which means they have to be in that smoke cloud in the field. These are relatively very easy kills to get. As you saw me saying, this is my first time playing the cruiser, and I did it, fairly well. But you can get some. You can snag about, I think it is about six or seven really easy kills in the beginning there, if you just kind of hold your fire. Now the Blade, I believe, is the destroyer, will torp one of the ships, but if you just kind of work on whittling them down a little bit, you can get some fairly easy kills to help that out. But, I was messing around with HE, messing around with AP. I was kind of a little bit wary on some of these consumables, which is why you saw me hit the radar. I just wanted to use it to kind of see what it would do. But if you notice, I am shooting and that guy cannot see me. I believe the automatic detection would be 4 kilometers. Sorry about that, guys. But if you can stay kind of just outside the field and shoot into it, you can do this without taking a lot of damage. Now, as you see, we're starting to get some of the tier 8s. I believe the enemy battleships are Bismarcks. I'll probably be corrected about it. I believe the enemy cruisers are Charles Martel, and I believe the enemy destroyers are the Z-23s. But as you can see, using AP is still a viable tactic, even against these guys. But really what you should be doing is setting the fires, move on, set another fire, and just kind of do what you would do if you're trying to get a witherer. Just, keep setting targets on fire. I do not know if these guys have a repair party or not. I really have never seen these guys put out a fire, but with all the concentrated fire, they're usually burning anyways. But as you can see, like now I am detected. So as you can see, that destroyer's within 3 kilometers of me. I do strongly recommend just every ship. Well, I don't know if the destroyer has secondaries, but at least the battleship and cruiser, at least select a target for your secondaries. I apologize for the puppies. I'm kind of doing this a little bit when they are up and active. But just so I built my battleship for a full secondary build because, well, it's goddamn dogs. I love them to death, but that stupid leaf outside is gonna drive them nuts. But It is a Tirpitz at the end of the day, and they have great secondaries, and it is a way to keep damage going. You will be surprised at how much your secondaries can get you damage through the fires. I believe I was cracking over 200 with just the fires from my secondaries alone. And it wasn't running any sort of flags because this is the public test. As you can see, we're going to dip into the field. As you can see, you get a better profile of the targets. But as you can see, I am within a battleship's repair. And as you can see, it says repair. And it's kind of slowly repairing me, keeping my health up. Now, one little thing or piece of advice or my thought on strategies is let the enemy take a tower. Because as you can see, the clock says we have 14 minutes, but it says eliminate all, what it says is defend the towers for 4 minutes and 50 seconds. If you lose a tower, that time increases. That's going to give you more time to kill Rasputin and the other enemy boss. I believe Rasputin does regenerate health if he's in the field. So you want to do your darndest to make sure he doesn't get in there, and if he does, he is under constant fire. Now, some people may think the destroyer is useless because he has no range with his guns, but torpedoes will do massive damage to these guys, along with damage over time. Now, I was trying the AP out on him just to see how much I could do with the AP on him, but I should have been just sticking with the HE and burning him. It is going to take a combined effort, focus fire, to get rid of Rasputin. He is still not an easy kill. Now, my advice for the carrier is either send one of your battleships, because the battleship can keep him burning with his secondaries. He also has torpedoes if they manage to stay alive long enough to do that, or you send a destroyer. And the reason I would say a destroyer is because he is stealthy and can actually get in there without being detected. But once again, as you can see, I am within a battleship's repair party. As you can see, he's actively repairing me. You can see we are focusing fire on this guy, and we finally get him down. Now, as you can see, that is the enemy carrier, the great something. I can't make it out. I'm sorry. But if you're a little bit proactive with the carrier and just send one person to deal with them. Now, my advice would be, in all honesty, don't send a battleship, just because it's you really need them to help defend the towers. Every time I play this, I've not 5-starred it. A battleship has gone after that, and usually 2 or 3 players have gone after that carrier. I have gone after him with my cruiser by myself, and just hit my heal thing, and it's unbelievable the amount of health. And it's the same thing with the destroyer. Destroyer can actually get in there and just torpedo and gun the living crap out of them. It only really takes one ship to kill that guy. But of course, it's a new event. Everybody playing this, it's all new. You know, there's 3 of us technically going after him. But as you can see, you know, he's got a lot of fires. I believe the destroyer was shooting at him, torpedoing him. These guys do take significant damage from torpedoes. But see, you know, me just being a little wary, not trusting my consumables, I should have just hit my heal consumable just for the rate of fire, just to get this guy down faster, even though it kind of would have been a waste for me with heals, but it would have meant this guy dies faster. As you can see, I finally hit it at the end there, and just look at that rate of fire. I'm pretty much just holding the trigger down, and it is non-stop death. But the carrier seems to be the one that can actually be soloed by a competent player. But I suspect most people doing this might not be able to get a 7-man team, which is one of the benefits of actually being in a clan, is you can get people to help you with this stuff. My thoughts on the clans are: join a clan that fits you and your personality. That's all I'm going to say about what clan you should or should not join. But you're going to go in with a 7-man team. If you guys are going to have a plan worked out, you're going to have thought processes worked out, you're going to have people designated in ships, and they're going to go in. You're going to designate. You do this, you do that. People are going to be designated for roles. I'm just trying to give you guys a little preview, but I will try to get a little bit more in depth when this actually goes live. But as you can see, we've met some of the secondary requirements. We're 4 ships away from killing foes in the field. We need to save at least 2 towers and save Transylvania. Saving Transylvania is actually not very difficult. But as you can see, there's less than 2 minutes left on defending the towers for them to close the portal, while in the actual game we have like 8 minutes. And this is why I kind of say, just send one person in after the carrier, because defending that second tower without a battleship, it's rough. Getting out of this field alive also, it's not an easy task. I've gone in, I've killed the carrier, but I've never made it out alive. Usually one too many of us go in and we end up losing that second tower. But I mean, just look at the rate of fire in that heel, and I'm actually enjoying playing the cruiser a little bit more in this event than a battleship, because you can be a little bit more versatile on what you need to do. You just have absolutely raw DPM. But the battleship, it's still going to be one of my favorites, because I love battleships, but I'm really enjoying playing the cruiser. Now, like I said, this is just a preview. I don't want to get too much involved with this. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I hope you guys have yourselves one heck of a great day.